Hi everyone, my name's Christy. Welcome to my corner. Thanks for joining me today for Flosstube 116, I believe. And I believe that it is January 26th, Friday, January 26th, 2024. And it's Flosstube Friday, and I'm back in a week. I'm super proud of myself. So today I have some fun things to show you. I have 2 new starts. I know. I'll explain. I have a whip, and then I have some Happy Mail, and I have some purchases that I purchased like 3 weeks ago. So I actually haven't been buying anything. This is like my last purchasing. This is the last thing I'm expecting for a while. I have a Forbidden Fiber Co. box coming that I paid for several months ago. That's coming in a couple months. It's Princess Bride themed. How could I not get a Princess Bride themed stitchy box? Anyway, so yeah, so behind the camera is just lots of materials to make things, and so I don't need to buy anything else. I just don't. So yeah, so that's what I have to talk about today. But before we get to any of that, I want to welcome my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me on my crafty and artistic adventures. And welcome back to anyone who's been hanging out with me for as long as you've been with me. It's been great to get to know you in the comments here on YouTube and also on Instagram. And if you're not following me on Instagram, you can find me at Dr_Christy. And that is in the description box down below. And, follow me over there, follow me here, and we can sort of hang out longer. And this is a channel about embroidery and cross-stitch, other textile crafts, and history, and the history of all of those things. So if any of that is interesting to you and you're not subscribed, I'd love to have you subscribe and stick around and hang out with us. Yeah, have a good time. So yeah, let's start with my new starts, and then I can explain them, okay? So those of you who were with me for my Flossmas, remember, I hope, that my goal was to fully finish 4 objects in my finished pile by my 44th birthday. So I was calling it this ridiculous name, like 4 fantastic, fully finished for 44 Fiesta Fete or whatever. I mean, I just kept adding F words, and at the end I did add the F word. It's okay. Scandal, but I did. So one of those fully finishes was a bookmark. And this bookmark is using an old embroidery. This is one of my first ever embroideries that I did in the summer of 2019, which is when I started stitching. I started embroidering in 2019. And it's a manicule. It's from a medieval manuscript. This is a bishop's hand. You can tell because of the benediction. And manicules were used in manuscripts. Manus means hand. So manicule and manuscript come from the same root word of hand, because it's writing. So this hand is pointing towards an important part of the text. They didn't use arrows like we do. They didn't have Post-it notes. They drew in little manicules, and they just sort of pointed where it was important to look, like emphasizing parts of the text. Anyway, I love manicules. I find them in my text all the time, and so I decided to stitch one. Well, my favorite manicule is this guy. I love this guy. And I was thinking about making him into a bookmark, but he was just a little bit too big. And so he's done all in stem stitch. And I call him the puppicule because he's a little puppy, like the back end of a puppy and the front end of a manicule. So he's my puppicule, mano puppy. It's not as nice, puppicule. So he's the puppicule. And I've been wanting to stitch him, make him a cross stitch for a while. He's very cute and simple and wonderful. And so my new start in my medieval marginalia project bag is a mini medieval marginalia of the puppicule. Now this is a Patreon only pattern right now. This is my January Patreon pattern. If you're interested in joining my Patreon, the link is down below. And basically there's a pattern tier where you get a pattern a month and also some history. So it's history and cross stitch, just like this channel. And actually this Sunday is our first Patreon Zoom. So if you join now you get this pattern and you can hang out with us on Sunday. Anyway, that's just that. But anyway, so I decided to start this. And the reason I decided to start it, very small start. I did it this morning. I don't have my coffee with you today because I decided to drink my coffee, have a slow morning. So I drank my coffee and started 2 projects. That's where I am. That's my start. But if I don't start, I can't finish. So this is my start. And it is right like here. Zoop. Not the dark brown, but the next dark brown, the medium brown. That's all I did, 1 strand. I did 1 strand. So I started my puppicule, which you can have if you join my Patreon. And those of you who are doing my medieval marginalia, it's the same color scheme. So they'll all go together. That's my plan, is to make my medieval marginalia all go together. So that is my first start. Puppicule. Oh, and the plan is when I stitch it, I'm going to mail it off. I'm going to turn it into, I might turn it into a brooch, like a pin, a brooch, and send it off to the something peasant on Instagram that I follow. I don't remember the name. Ugh. I want to say Moody Peasant, but I don't think it's Moody Peasant. Grumpy Peasant, maybe? Anyway, he's this guy who lives in New York, and he has this whole like medieval persona, and it's hilarious. Hilarious. I'm pretty sure he's an actor. And he does sewing, and he's just hilarious. So that is my first. In fact, I'm going to put this in this bag too, because they go together. That's my first new start that I started today. My second new start that I started today. I know it's really, but I started it for a good reason, because it's wonderful. And it's small. I can finish it quickly. My second new start is in my Forbidden Fabric Happy Holidays bag from Advent bag from last year. And it is my Ink Circles Round Robin that I'm doing with Rachel Ray of Rachel Ray's Crafts, Stitchy Natty, and Whitney, who does not have a Flosstube but is a Flosstube friend. So, and I'm doing Shark Cathedral, and I told a whole story about this, I think, in my last video, maybe 2 videos ago. But the way that this works is that each person does a quarter of the mandala and then passes it on. So you get to stitch on 4 different ink circles patterns, and you end up with one that is stitched by 4 people. So that is what I'm doing. Now I'm changing it a bit. I'm not stitching any of that blue. I don't feel it needs the blue. I think the floor of the Shark Cathedral isn't blue, and so I am not doing it. Now it also, I don't know that it has this yellow and the red to it either, but I do like having multiple colors. So I will show you where I am. I am stitching this on a 32 count Belfast linen by Color and Cotton called Spiced Honey, which is very similar to the color of the floor of the cathedral. And I have done that much. I did 1 strand this morning, and that's the middle. So that 1 dot is the very middle of the pattern. And basically I'm stitching this quarter right here. And so I've done like that. Bloop. That's all I've done. That's all I've done. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. I'm stitching it in silk, so it'll be silk on linen, very fancy. I'm stitching it from Stash. The dark color is not actually black. It's more of a very dark gray. Dying for cross stitch. I don't have a name for it. I took it off. I put it on a bobbin, a floss card, a floss drop, I mean. And I may need to change this floss card because this is very wobbly. It's a very wobbly, thin floss card. So that is the dark color. That's the majority. And then the red color is going to be a rust. Again, Dying for Cross Stitch Schoolhouse, which is more red than you're seeing. You're kind of seeing it as a very orange. It's about the color of my hair. So it's definitely redder than you're seeing it close up. And then the yellow is going to be Stitch Me Beehive. Yeah, so let me just show you those on the fabric. Excuse me. But I thought that that looked really nice. And the fabric is less tan and more gold than it's showing up. It's still less tan and more gold. So it's definitely a gold. It's definitely gold. It's on like the brownie, the tanny end of gold, but it's definitely a gold fabric. And I love it. And I think that the yellow, the gold will like blend, but not disappear, which I like. So that is my incredible ink circles round robin with some incredible stitchers. And I'm excited. I'm very happy to be doing this. They are all stitching on 40 count. I don't think I've ever stitched on 40 count. So I might need to practice. I have some 40 count stuff. I think I bought some 40 count from Cedar River Linen and Design. So I need to try it out. I can stitch on 20 count, 1/1. I can stitch on 32 count, and I think I can stitch on 36 count. I can do it. I can totally do it. I can totally do it. So those are both of my new starts. My whip that I have done this week, it was a very long week. It was a lot of catching up from last week because my campus was closed all week. And so I was able to do things that I could do from home, but I can't do everything from home. So I was like yesterday was like a 14-hour day. It was so much, just trying to catch up, and it's fine. It's fine. But my whip for this week is I worked on my Temperature Dragon. I normally stitch this with my mom on Sundays, but I bailed. I bailed on my mom this Sunday. So I did stitch it on my own a little bit. And I'm not caught up, but I'm pretty close working on it. So it's a center start, and then, you know, I worked around the jewel, and now I'm working my way down. I did change the lowest color. So in the temperature chart that I have with this, the lowest color is 04. But if you look at this, these lines are 04, or that are like outlining the different sections. And I didn't want them to blend. So I used, and this is a dark fabric, so I used 01. And I'll stitch in DMC. So I used 01. That was the coldest. Right there and there. Yeah, so there and there are the coldest. And then I love that sort of bright ass pop of pink randomly. And then, yeah, we were cold last week, and we were cold until this week. So I think we're going to be warming up again. I think we were in the, like, may have hit 70 yesterday. Anyway, this is being stitched on, I believe, a 32 count linen by Atomic Ranch. Don't remember the color, but it's a dark mottled gray. I keep not looking it up. I keep telling you I'm going to look it up, and then I don't look it up. And it is what it is. Yeah, so that's all the stitching that I've been doing. I did do a little bit of crochet, so I'm going to show that real quick. It's not going to be very exciting or very long, but I did do a little bit of crochet at my Wednesday night Crafter Dark. I host a community craft night at my local arts council, and I am doing a granny square sweater. So when last you saw this, I had one row of white. So I did an entire row of white, and 3/4 of a row of blue during Craft After Dark. And this stitch marker, I always say this, but I'm just so grateful for Denise's friendship. And this stitch marker is by Denise from Black Ribbon Stitch Studio. She saw that I was crocheting and just sent me stitch markers, 2 stitch markers that she made. And I love them. And every time, and this one is so goofy. I love this little goofy face. And so every time I pull this out, I think about Denise. So Denise, thank you. You're the best. And I love it. Yeah, so that's all my whips. That's what I got. You know, it's been one of those weeks where I have done a little crafting, and so that feels really good. I do like doing Flosstube every week because it does kind of force me to craft every week. When I was doing 2 weeks or like once a month, I didn't have to, I hadn't have to show you even if I was spending a lot of my time not crafting. But doing it once a week, I have to show you something. And so it gets me to stitch more and craft more. I am working on my mixed media piece, but I just added some liquid to the floral things. And so they have to dry. So I'm planning on working on that this weekend and getting a bit more done on that because I do want to see progress on that. I have to send that out. Oh, I'm sorry. Those of you who are new, I'm doing a mixed media piece, mixed media embroidery piece that is part of a class through a correspondence course through the Embroiderers Guild of America. And it was supposed to be due December 1st. I thought December 31st. I emailed the instructor and said, could I have a little bit more time, please? I'm like halfway through. And she said, yes, I could have until March. And so I want to finish it up in January, or at least the beginning of February, so I can send it off. So that is, that's happening. But I'll show that to you next week, my progress on that next week. Because I think I'm going to start putting things together. At least my kind of bottom layers I want to start putting together and sew it onto the fabric. Anyway, you'll see that. You'll see that next week. So that's all my crafting that I've done. I do have some happy mail. My friend Amy sent me some happy mail. Isn't that adorable? So Amy had some fabric from like tablecloths and old textiles from, I believe, her mother or grandmother. She's not sure. And so she sent them to me because, you know, those of you who have been with me for a while, you know that I love antique textiles. And in fact, I bought more. But I bought them 3 weeks ago. I haven't bought them recently. But I want to show you what Amy gave me because they're gorgeous. So she's not sure if her mother or her grandmother made this. But look at this. Isn't this lovely? With like the really sweet crocheted outside. Oh, it's so sweet. And then the flowers are embroidered. And it's so, the back's so neat. It's just lovely. It's just really lovely. And so I have to kind of come up with something to, I just feel like these would be beautiful mixed media pieces, like just make them into art. Because one thing that I really love about these antique textiles is that, and vintage textiles, is that only recently have they been considered art. But of course, we know that they're art, right? We know that they take skill. We know that they're art. And so what I really want to do is turn them into art pieces that showcase women's work, like the history of women's work. And I went to my university has an art gallery, and I'm on that board too. I'm on both art boards in my town. So I'm on that board too. And we had a reception for our artist for the month. And she does paper making and iron working and mixes them and rusts things. And it's just a phenomenal, display. She's an art professor at Auburn University, which is a few hours away, but not that far away. One of her pieces is a giant pieces of paper that have been rusted and, you know, decorated and stuff like that. And on the back of them, like the paper was too delicate. So she took antique doilies, hardened them with rust and affixed them to the back of the paper to stabilize the paper. So you go up and you look at this image, and it looks like it's inspired by a nebula in space. But then you look around the back and you see these antique doilies that were not considered art, that are considered old-fashioned, and they are strengthening this piece in a way that like women strengthen society. And we really saw this sort of women strengthening society thing. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent, but to me, in 2020, right when the pandemic hit and everyone was in lockdown, it was women who held relationships together. It was women who held community. I know for me, I was baking bread for like all my friends, and I was dropping off food and baskets of food for my friends and my community. And women are the glue that hold community together in general, not 100%, but in general, women are the ones who keep relationships and who are the ones who hold together communities. And I just loved that her view of these doilies was that it was holding together this piece. And I listened to her get her talk, and this is her reasoning behind it. So this isn't just me like imbuing meaning on it. This is like her meaning behind it. And I love that too. And so that's why I love these textiles. She also sent me some printed tablecloths that are these amazing bright ass colored fruit. Do I love a bright ass colored fruit? Oh yes. Oh yes, I do. So this I think I might cut up. It's very soft. It would make a good handkerchief. So I'd be seeing it all the time. I don't know. It would be a good medium for mixed media. So anyway, lots of options. It would make an incredible dress. Lots of options. And then another tablecloth that isn't quite as soft, and that has flowers, this sort of floral background, which again, adding other fabrics to the top could make a really amazing art piece. I really need to think about this because I was really inspired last night by, her name was Kristen. I don't remember her full name. I'll put it in the description box down below. But I really was inspired by her work and the way she thought about her work. Really inspired. Yeah. So that was my happy mail. So thank you so much, Amy. I don't know. I really appreciate it. And I love this little card. So thank you so much. I hope I will make beautiful things out of it. I might mess it up. But that's also part of making art, I feel. And I'm really feeling like I want to make art. Fabric art, fabric collage and embroidery and mixed media and textiles and all these things. I'm getting all of these different kinds of fabrics, and I want to play with them. Speaking of which, this is a thing that I purchased a while ago. It took a while. It's a big box. But I had shown you my little samples that I got. Well, I got a big box of them, a big box of samples. And the woman, and I think I need to comment to the woman who sold them to me because she sent me a really nice card. She included a really nice card. And she said, these were my mother's. And she used them for making tiny doll pillows, blankets, stuff like that. So she used these in doll houses. And she said, I hope that you enjoy using them or find use for them or something like that. So I want to like message her and say, yes, I will find use for them. So I'm actually going to pause you and show you this box head on because it's heavy and big. So hold on. Okay, so here is the box. Let me figure out how to hold you with my left hand. here is the box. And it just has lots of different fabrics and styles in it, different colors. So I definitely don't need any more, but I have just about every color I could need. And this is the box that it came in. I haven't taken it out yet. And I did make space for all this fabric in my crafting. I got rid of a bunch of yarn that I was not going to use because I have fallen out of love with weaving. But anyway, that is the box of the samples that I got. So my plan is to use this for collaging and mixed media work. And I'm really kind of excited about where my feelings with textile art is going. Very excited. I'm very excited. And I'm very excited this weekend to work on this piece, my mixed media piece for my class. I'm very excited to have so many options. Very excited. So, ooh, that's fun. Look at this one. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. That's the one purchase that I got. Oh, things are about to fall over. Let me bend down and get the other purchase. I got another lot of vintage textiles. So I'm going to pause you, open the bag, and then show you, because I haven't looked at them all yet. So I'm going to pause you and open the bag. So we're doing a little unbagging together. All right. So I got it for like a save the stitches kind of a thing because I love these. Aren't they beautiful? They're so beautiful. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but they're beautiful. And I wanted them to go to someone like me as opposed to someone who would just, I don't know, toss them. This one is ripped, which is unfortunate. So I have a couple of those, right? 2 of those. And then a larger one that matches. So I have those, which I think are really beautiful, but look at, sorry, my butts, my stitchy butts are not this neat. That's for sure. Look at that. This person was good. This person was very good. And this is stitched like over 4. 1/4. Oh, I thought it was missing some. I thought it was missing stitches right there, but it's not. They're just light. All right, so that's that set. I don't know if there are any other sets. Here is a little embroidery. This one's pretty, only on that side. That's an embroidery. This is kind of a small tablecloth. We have, it looks like a handkerchief with a pretty crocheted edge. A handkerchief with like an applique embroidered edge. It's kind of applique on. These are very small. I can't, well, and this is super thin. I can't use these for handkerchiefs. They won't work. So I'll have to figure something else out. This one's printed, but pretty. But all of these, again, would be useful in like a mixed media, vintagey homage to women's work. Right? And that's kind of where I am. Oh yeah, this one's kind of creepy. It's like old-timey circus elephant with mice. A little creepy. And then we have, oh yeah, there are a bunch of doilies. Look at that. So pretty. And I can't do these things, so. But yeah, I mean, I'm just going on and I'm showing all of them all. I'm showing this whole box to you. So if you're not interested, you might want to fast forward. Although after this, I'm just probably going to say goodbye. So But if you're interested in vintage textiles, oops, I just threw it on the ground. Hold on one sec. These two go together, so there's like a little one and a big one. Beautiful. And then a red, it looks like a coaster doily. Okay, so now we're back into weird fabrics. If you don't like clowns, look away. But we have circus fabrics. We have clowns, we have penguins, and we have lion and a monkey. Past people were weird. Here's a pretty applique. And a pretty handkerchief. It's printed. And then we have more stitching. Save the stitching. Oh, this one was fairly low. Oh, this is a pillowcase. I will not use it as a pillowcase. This is also a pillowcase. But they're not machine made. These are hand stitched pillowcases. They're not machine made pillowcases. A runner. And it goes all the way down. This is probably for like a sideboard table because it's only embroidered on one side. This is really sweet. Oh, it's an applique. It's a little spotted applique handkerchief. Again, these sort of small handkerchiefs I can't use. I use bigger handkerchiefs. These are like little dainty ladies handkerchiefs. I'm not dainty in my blowing of my nose. That's really pretty. Ooh, it's got the pretty part, more pretty part on the bottom. Which side? And I was... Oh, this is the same on both sides. Look at that. So there we have the one side and the other side. That is some skills. That is some skills. It's not quite the same, but I cannot, without looking, this is the back. That's the back. I need to improve my skills. Ooh, this is grody. This is lipstick with a dog. That's weird, but okay. Okay. This is a pillowcase. No. Yes? Yes, this is a pillowcase for a decorative pillow. We have some more applique. Keep dropping them. It's like lots of little things. This is just a white with crochet around the outside. Printed, pretty printed. Very pretty. We have a little embroidery and printed. Embroidery and printed. These are all like ladies' handkerchief sizes. Printed. That one fell on the floor. That's why you saw that when you did. Here we have a sort of lace work outside with some, I don't know, with a drawn thread hem. Sorry. Very cute I love you. Embroidered. Again, that's hand done, not with machine. I have some more doilies. God, I keep throwing things on the floor. I have more doilies. Just has a J. Printed floral with, no, just printed floral. Two more print. Oh, another weird circus one. Printed floral. Printed with some, oh no, this is tiny little embroidered flowers. Very pretty. And then white with crochet or tatting on the outside. Sorry, there's more in here than I thought, or else I probably wouldn't have gone through it all. But now I'm committed. Now I'm committed. Printed. Embroidered. Printed. Oh, those are pretty. 4-leaf clovers. Crocheted outside. And then some more doilies. So a pink one. Ooh, purple and yellow crocheted on the outside. A one that needed to be soaked. A flower. And a square. And I think that that's basically it. So that's my haul that I wanted to show you today. Sorry, that took much. There was way more like little tiny things in there than I realized, or else I probably would not have just spent 10 minutes going through this bag with you. I hope you don't mind. If you do, I did warn you ahead of time that I was going through the whole thing. So, and you know how long that is, because we're ending now. We're done. Anyway, yeah, my plans for this week are to catch up on my mood stitching. I'm tracking my moods, but I just have not been mood stitching, which is kind of defeats the purpose. Like the purpose of the design is to like stitch it when like every night as like a meditative, reflective thing. And I haven't been doing that, which defeats the purpose. So I need to fix that. I also need to, I want to catch up on my temperature dragon. And work on projects that I can fix them. Because those of you who watched my whip parade know that I feel like I have too many whips and I just added 2 more. So I need to finish something. And that's my plan. My plan this week is to try and finish a whip. I don't know which one. One of them. I'll find a small one. Maybe even it'll be a puppacule. Who knows? Who knows what it will be? But I don't want this many works in progress. I just don't. So that's my plan. My plan is to finish it. Oh, I didn't show you another thing I got. I got a 5-year journal. So I was watching, sorry, totally changing subject. I totally forgot about this. I was watching Gail Wombat Hollow Crafts, I think is her channel. She has a 5-year book where she puts in her stitching. Excuse me. I got a 5-year book. I don't know that I'm going to record all my stitching. But I am going to record my starts and finishes. So this is that I finished my Forbidden Fiber Co. Christmas Carol with Rizzo on January 9th. Nothing January 10th. And then on 2024, I started my February Mindful Mending Stitching for the model. And then I finished it the next day. And then on the 16th, I started my March Mindful Mending model stitch and did it on and finished it the next day. And then I also put in when I release charts, so I know when I release them. So this is a 5-year thing. It's just it's like 5 lines each day for 5 years. And it's just this pretty little journal. It's small. It's padded cover. It's really nice. And I kind of like it. So I need to put in my 2 starts for today. I may put in when I record a Flosstube, when I record a video, whatever. Yeah, so that's all I have for today. It has been great to chat with you. This is kind of a long one, thanks to my purchases. And yeah, and I will talk to you next week. Please take good care of yourselves and have a good one. Bye.